Hello students, in this video we are going to see bubble sort. Okay, so let's start by understanding what is the meaning of sort. Sort means to arrange data items in ascending or descending order. For example, I have got this array here, okay, and the data items are 3, 4, 2, 1. Okay, now if I arrange this in ascending order, the order will be like this 1, 2, 3, 4, and in descending order the order will be like this 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so ascending means smallest to biggest, and descending means biggest to smallest. Okay, so we'll learn how to do this kind of sorting using bubble sort method. Okay, so what is bubble sort? In bubble sort, we compare every two adjacent elements in the array, and if they are not in the right position, then we'll swap them. For example, if we compare 3 and 4, okay, so let's assume that we want to arrange the array in ascending order. That means the element on the left should be smaller than the element on the right. So, if we compare 3 and 4, we can see that we have the right position of 3 and 4, because 3 is smaller than 4. Now, we will compare the next two elements, that is 4 and 2. So, if we compare 4 and 2, you can see that the elements are not in the right position. So, we will swap them. Okay, let me write down. First time we compared 3 and 4. Okay, and we did not swap because they were already in the right position. Okay, then second time we compared 4 and 2. So, this time the elements are not in the right position, so we swap them. Okay, we swap them. Then we compare the next two elements. Okay, and again the elements are not in the right position, so we swap them. And after we have compared all the elements in the array, all the adjacent elements in the array, we can say that we have completed one pass. Okay, one pass through the array. Okay, we have completed one pass through the entire array. So, we will call this first pass. Okay. Now, after first pass, we can notice that one element, okay, one element has reached its right position. Okay. So, after first pass, one element has reached its right position. Now, the state of the array is like this 3, 2, 1 and 4. Okay. Now, let us repeat the process. Okay, we are going to repeat the same process which we did in first pass. We will compare the first two elements, okay, and the elements are not in the right position, so we will swap them. Then second time we compare the next two elements, and again they are not in the right position, so we will swap. And third time we compare 3 and 4. They are already in the right position, so no changes. 2, 1, 3, 4. Okay, so this is our second pass. This is our second pass because we have compared every two adjacent elements in the array. Okay. And we can see that now the second element has reached its right position. Okay, the second element has reached its right position. So, total we have two elements in the right position. Okay. Now, the state of the array is like this 2, 1, 3, 4. Okay. So, this is how the position of the elements are there in the array. Now, let us repeat the process again. So, this time again we will compare first two elements 2 and 1. Okay, they are not in the right position. So, we will swap them. So, the position is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then we will compare the next two elements, that is 1, they are already in the right position. So, no changes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again we will compare the next two elements, that is 3 and 4. So, 3 and 4 are already there in the right position. So, we will have no change. So, after the third pass, okay, so we have completed our third pass. After the third pass, we can be assured that, see, two elements, that is 3 and 4, they are already there in the right position, and now in the third pass the third element has also reached its right position. And since there are only 4 numbers, okay, since there are only 4 numbers, if 3 elements have reached their right position, isn't it obvious that the remaining one element will also have reached its right position? Yes. So, to sort an array of 4 elements, we needed, how many passes did we need? We needed 3 passes. Okay. That means we can conclude from this that to sort an array of n size, okay, we will need n minus 1 passes. So, remember this, we will need n minus 1 passes. So, let us understand one more thing. In each pass, how many comparisons do we need? For example, in the first pass, we compared 3, 4, okay, first and second index, then we compared second and third index, and then we compared the last 2 elements. Okay. So, we need 3 comparisons. In the first pass, we need 3 comparisons. In the second pass, how many comparisons do we need? If you see, we need to compare the first 2, then the next 2, okay, and remember that one element is already sorted in the first pass. So, we do not need to compare 4, okay. So, how many comparisons do we need? We need to compare, once we will compare 0 index and first index, and next time we will compare the first index with the second index. Okay. When I say index, please understand we are talking about the values present at those indices. Okay. So, in the second pass we needed 2 comparisons. In the first pass we needed 3 comparisons. Okay. And in the last pass, if you notice, the last value, the second last value have already reached their right position. Okay. Now, we are left we are left with the first two values only. Okay, we are left with the first two values only. So this is the state of the array after the second pass, and two elements, last two elements have already reached their right position, and we need to compare only the 0 index value with the first index value. Okay, that means only one comparison, comparing the values at 0 and 1. Okay. That means in the last comparison we needed only in the last pass we needed only one comparison. So to summarize, we need n minus 1 passes to sort an array of n size. Okay. This is our conclusion number 1 from whatever we have discussed. Okay. And conclusion number 2 is that conclusion number 2 is that in the first pass we require n minus 1 comparisons. Okay. That is in this example we had 4 elements in the array. Okay. So the value of n is 4. Okay. So 4 minus 1 we required 3 comparisons, isn't it? In the first pass, we required 3 comparisons. Okay. Now, in the second pass, n value is 2. Okay. N value is 4. We have 4 elements in the array, and this time 4 minus 2 will give me 2. We needed 2 comparisons. Okay. So in the second pass, we needed 2 comparisons. Then in the third one we needed, in the third pass we needed 4 minus 3, that is only one comparison. Okay. And finally in the nth pass, that is when n is 4, n is always 4 here in this example. Okay. Here we required n minus n. Okay. So n minus n will give me what? 4 minus 4, 0. That means we don't need to compare anymore. The array has been already sorted. Okay. So with every pass, we need to do one less than the previous one. We need to do one less comparison than the previous number of comparison, and ultimately it will reach 0. That means we don't have to do any more comparison. Okay. So we will implement both the conclusions in our code. Okay. So you will see that the outer loop will control the number of passes. Okay. And the inner loop will control the number of comparisons. Okay. So let's have a look at the code. So let's see the code. I've declared an array here, array A, and in which I have the elements 3, 4, 2, 1. Okay, unsorted. And then in the next line I calculate the length of the array. So the length of the array will be 4. In len I will have 4. Then I just display the unsorted array here. Okay, I just display it. Now let's see the code for sorting. Okay. So to sort an element of 4 size, an array of 4 size, we already saw that we need 4 minus 1, that is 3 passes. So, the outer loop should run 3 times, the outer loop should execute 3 times. So, let us see if it is executing or not. Here it is starting with 0 and it is going up till 1 less than len minus 1. What is the value of len? The value of len is 4. Okay, the value of len is 4. So, 4 minus 1, that is 3. Okay. Condition becomes I is less than 3. Okay, I is less than 3 and I is starting from 0. So, 0 less than 3, 1 less than 3 and 2 less than 3. So, how many times the condition will be true? The condition will be true only 3 times. Okay. So, the outer loop you can clearly see that it is running n minus 1 time. Okay. So, that is why the condition here is len minus 1. Okay. So, that the loop runs exactly n minus 1 times. Okay. And what is n? N is the size of the array. Here we are representing n by len. Okay, len, len. Then the inner loop. Okay, let's see the inner loop. What's happening here? Okay, we'll come to the condition part later. Okay, first let's see what's happening inside the inner loop. Okay. So, here we are comparing if a j of 1, okay, if a of j plus 1 is less than a of j. Okay. So, first time value of j is 0, right. So, 0 plus 1 will be 1. So, first time the comparison will happen between a of 1 and a of 0. Okay. Next time when j gets updated, the comparison will be between a of 1, j value is 1, okay, and j plus 1 will be 2. Okay. And last time the comparison will be between a of 2 and a of 3. So, wherever this condition is true, that means if the next element, okay, if the next element is less than the current element, this one represents the current element, okay, a of j represents the current element and a of j plus 1 represents the next element. So, here if the next element is less than the current element, that means it is not in the right position. Okay. Here we are sorting in ascending order, that means on the right side we should have bigger number and on the left side we should have a smaller number. So, if the right one is smaller than the left one, then we will swap. Okay. And so, inside the inner loop you can see there is the code for swapping. Okay, a of j and a of j plus 1, their values are swapped. Okay. Now, let us talk about the condition of the inner loop. Okay. So, first time when the inner loop runs, this will happen, 3 comparisons will happen. Okay. And how is that? Look here, len minus 1. Okay. What is the value of len minus 1? Len is 4, 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay. So, j is less than 3, j is less than 3. That means, j for j0, for j1 and j2, the loop will execute. Okay. So, first time when the first time the inner loop executed, it ran 3 times, okay, and the value of I here, the value of I is 0. So, len minus 1 minus 0, this 0 will not have any effect, because it will be len minus 1 only, isn't it, first time when I is 0. Okay. Now, when this inner loop has executed 3 times, okay, control will come to the update of the outer loop. I will become 2 now. I will become 2, and here the condition will be what? The condition will be j is less than 4 minus 1, that is 3, and 3 minus, so 4 minus 1 minus 1, that becomes j is less than 2. Okay. So, here the comparison will happen between 1 and 0, then the comparison will happen between a of 1 and a of 2. So, this time the inner loop will run only 2 times, okay, when j is 0 and j is 1, because of this condition j should be less than 2. So, the inner loop will execute only 2 times. So, can you notice this is isn't this our conclusion from our discussion here, okay. So, we already discussed that in the first pass we required 3 comparisons, in the second pass we need 2 comparisons. Remind you, the element size is 4, if it is 4. Okay. So, in the first one we required 3 comparisons, in the second execution of the inner loop we require 2 comparisons, and in the third iteration we require 1 comparison. So, let us check the third iteration also. Okay. Now, the value of I will become 3. Okay. Sorry, the value of I will not become 3. Here I was 0. Okay. For this I was 1. Okay. It was not 2. It was not 2. I am sorry about that. It was not 2. It was 1, and I have written correctly here, but I wrote it incorrectly here. Okay. So, I was 1 here. So, this time I will become 2. Now, the condition is 2 is less than 3. Condition is true. Control will come inside third time. Okay. Now, the inner loop will execute for the third time. So, this time the comparison will happen between a of 0 it will happen between a of 0 and a of 1. Okay. Because this time the condition is what? Len minus 1. Len minus 1 is what? 4 minus 1 minus I is what? I value is 2. Okay. So, 4 minus 3 is 1. Okay. So, as long as j is less than 1, that is the condition in the third execution of the inner loop. So, that means only one time the inner loop will execute this time, okay, when j is 0. So, comparison will happen only one time. So, you see this minus I is reducing the number of comparisons in every pass, okay, and that is what we require, isn't it? It reduces the number of comparisons by what? By 1. That is the job of minus I, okay. And what does this len minus 1 do? So len minus 1 ensures that first time we need how many comparisons? When in the first pass we will always require n minus 1. N minus 1 comparisons. Here the size was 4, total elements were 4, so we needed 3, one less comparison, isn't it? So that is what this len minus 1 is doing, okay. The length value is 4 in this example, so 4 minus 1 is 3, okay. So the loop will execute for when j is 0, okay, j is 1 and j is 2. So that is the job of len minus 1, and of course this minus I have explained already, this will not have any effect in the first time, because first time this will be 0, I will be 0, okay. So I hope you have understood bubble sort, okay. Now let's I think we have already seen the output, okay. So here is the output. Now if you want to increase the number of elements here, we can increase it, okay. Let's increase it. So let's say 45, 67, 9, 10, 12, okay. So let's compile it again and rerun. So you can see our code is sorting it perfectly, okay. So I hope you have understood this. Thank you.